Hey guys, so here we are. We're going to learn about the law of cosines. So, just like the law of sines, law of cosines works for any triangles. Okay. Now, it looks a lot nastier than it does with the law of sines. Okay. So here we go. It's a squared equals b squared plus c squared. It's almost exactly like the Pythagorean theorem, especially here, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. But then we have the extra stuff. Minus, I'm going to stay down here, 2ab cosine c. I want you to notice that little c and big C start. So no matter whatever little b we have, or the side we have, it ends with its angle. Okay? Again, you don't need to know all three of these. I tend to use one and just remember that whatever letter I start with, I end with its angle. And notice here I have a b squared plus c squared. It's always minus 2. The 2 is always there, and the b and c go together. Okay? So here we go. Let's look at an example. So I'm going to give you big A. It's 120 degrees. Little b is 9, and little c is 5. Okay, so let's draw our picture. A, little a, big B, little b, C, C. So little c is 5, big B is 9, and we know big A is 120. Now, here, yes, we have side angle side. It'd be great if we were finding area. But we got to find the rest of the triangle. So the whole thing is solve for the triangle. Okay? So I can't find our missing angle easily just because we have 2 missing ones. I don't know all of anything. So on a problem like this, you only have one place you can start. Whatever angle they give you, you have to find its side. So that would be the first one. Okay, so we're going to use a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine a. I should have done it. Okay. Oops, sorry. I'm talking to myself. Crazy. So a squared equals 9 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 9 times 5 cosine of 120 degrees. I forgot my calculator. Let me be quick. Okay, so now, do you see, whoops, how my unknown is all by itself and everything right here to the right, I know? We're going to type this in as one big equation. Okay, so here we go. 9 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 9 times 5 cosine of 120. Hit enter. This is where you want to be careful, because a squared equals 151, but I'm not looking for a squared. I'm looking for a. Now, this one's nice and sweet because it's a whole number. Do not round. What I want you to do is do second the square root symbol, second that negative sign right here. You see where it says A and S? That's going to pull up your answer. And I get 12 point, let's go 12.3. So A is 12.3. Okay, now we have some choices. We still have to find big B and big C. We could go back and use the law of cosines. Now, if you're like me, it's not the prettiest equation. I'm not saying it's ugly, I'm just saying it's not pretty. But here, all of a sudden, I now know all of A. I'm going to use the law of sines. Okay. Now, I know what you're saying, thinking, because you're going to throw it back in my face. We came up with 12.3. We shouldn't use it. No matter what, I would always have to use it. I actually have no choice but to use 12.3. Okay, so it'll be 12.3 sine of 120. Then we have a choice here to find big B or big C. We know how I have my issue, so I'm going to find big B. So this would be 9 over sine of B. Okay, I'm going to just kind of... Okay. This is going to be a different situation because here I'm trying to find big B. So here we go. We're going to cross multiply. So we get 12.3 sine of big B equals 9 sine of 120. Now, we're solving for big B, but we can't get to it right away. So what we're going to have to do is slowly peel this away. So I'm going to take 12.3, and we're going to divide just the 12.3 to the right side. Okay. I'm trying to think. Okay, so now I'm left with this. Sine B equals 9 sine of 120 sine of 12.3. So in order to find B, I actually have to take the inverse of sine. So this will be B equals the inverse of sine. Okay, that's the only way for me to separate sine from an angle of all of this. 9 sine of 120 over 12.3. Okay. Now we're going to be very careful typing this in. We're not going to type this all in at once. We're going to do the same stuff I've taught you. We're going to type in that numerator, divide by the denominator. Okay, so clear, clear, clear. So 9 sine of 120, enter. Divided by 12.3, enter. Okay, now you see I have to get that inverse sign. So if you look at right above sine, you'll see an inverse sign. So you're going to hit second, sine, second, that negative to pull up the answer, and hit enter. And B is 39.3 degrees. Okay. Now, I know two angles. Do I have to go and do this over again? And the answer is no. Okay, so now I got to find big C. Now that I know two angles, I'm going to do 180 minus 120 minus 39.3. Okay, when I put that in the calculator, I get 20.7. Okay, so I hope this has helped. This is if we have a side angle side situation. Have fun doing this.